G'day. I just want to say thanks for the Decouple podcast. Book club. I've been looking forward to this. Very excited about it. Um, and I've learnt so much from the Decouple podcast, and even changed my mind on a few things, particularly nuclear and nuclear waste. So I'll be at work while you guys are chatting about the book, but I still wanted to participate. So I thought I would post this contribution to the conversation. Um, Now, onto the book. So, I was very excited that it was Vaclav Smil because I remember Bill Gates recommending him a few times. So, I had high expectations. And so, if I was going to give the book a title, I would call it How Awesome Humans Are. Because he goes into extraordinary detail and extraordinary length, page after page, about all these amazing corners of the economy that humans are doing amazing things, like how they've improved agriculture over the years, particularly grain and productivity. Also, the amazing ingenuity that comes in creating the products that from extracted oil, and basically how the world has gotten wealthier and wealthier. Um, I really wish I could store all those facts in my brain and just recall them at willy nilly, like whenever I'm in a debate with someone. Um, but I would give it the five stars if the book was called How Awesome Humans Are, but it but it wasn't. The book is called How the World Really Works, and he's a scientist, so someone obviously very talented. So he should be held to a high standard, right? In terms of how the world really works, his analysis lacks any depth really, and I found him more naive than Greta Thunberg. Um, Mainly his lack of economic understanding. Like, I do not recall him once bringing up like carbon pricing, and that's what economists of every shape would say is the least costly way to bring about a stable climate. Um, like it brings seems like farmers struggle to um, get by barely profitable with even with subsidies. And it's like no subsidies is just about political power and giving money to mates. It's not. It's got nothing to do with whether a farming would survive without subsidies. That's just one like bit shows his lack of understanding. Um, but like I want to live in a world where like I fly from Melbourne to London on SpaceX like for lunch, right? And we need to be really wealthy to do that. But so we need a world where pricing of all greenhouse gases, like SpaceX uses methane. So we need a carbon price, we need a methane price, and um, like once you have the price, I say I pay for my trip from Melbourne to London for lunch, right? And I pay $400 a ton for methane. And once that happens, right, it's just a race between the chemical engineers, the biological engineers, and mechanical engineers all around the world. There's like going to be trillions of dollars, and if anyone can do it for $400, you get the money. And if anyone around the world has a better idea for $399, they're going to get most of the money. And then someone's going to come out for $398. So like it's just a race between some people around the world who has the best idea and who can do it the cheapest. And like back to the book is like why I brought this up. It's like it's a trope that all the poor people in sub-Saharan Africa and the poor people want to be like in the rich countries, and therefore we can't put costs on these poor people. And it's like that just it's those poor countries have an excess of labor, right? At $400 a ton for carbon, right? Can you not imagine like a farmer in sub-Saharan Africa would be like, man, At $400 a ton, I will hand plant legumes for acres and acres and acres. Don't you worry. Like, I don't see that it would be a cost. They're like, it could bring these people into the global economy, and that's the only way these poor people are going to be rich. Like, anyway, that's just quibbles. I'm sorry, it's not quibbles. That's big problems with this book. Um, anyway, I loved reading it. I got so much out of it, as I have of all the Decoupled podcasts. And yeah, I look forward to the next Decouple book club session. And yeah, hope you have a great time when you do the actual book club itself. All right, cheers. Bye from Australia.